House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says President Trump had a nasty meltdown during their meeting yesterday, and after being insulted, she walked out. Take a look.
What's really sad about it is I pray for the president all the time, and I tell him that. I pray for his safety and that of his family. I think now we have to pray for his health, because this was a very serious meltdown on the part of the president.
Trump defended himself, tweeting out this photo, saying it was nervous Nancy's unhinged meltdown. Well, Pelosi responded by making that photo her Twitter pic. A lot of people saying that kind of backfired. Crazy amount of childish behavior going on. How do you feel about it, Lindsay?
I mean, didn't you watch this and say you wish something got done, right? The serious issue that they were discussing is what's at hand. And for people to leave the meeting, you kind of want people to stay there and just get it solved, no matter how much they don't like each other. I know we're in the middle of an impeachment, and so you can't think, but is that on the minds of some people who walked in the meeting? But to leave with no result is kind of like the worst thing to happen, especially as a voter who just wants your Congress people to go in there and get something done, even if they totally don't like the president.
I just don't think if you were in a meeting and someone insulted you, and what happened was apparently she said all roads lead to Putin with you, and he lost it and said you're a third-rate or third-grade politician, we don't know, and started yelling, and Schumer even said we got to leave. Would you have sat there? I can't imagine you sitting there being disrespected in the way all men, just you're third in line to the presidency, and you're not getting the respect that you deserve.
I would have walked out too. How this conversation between you guys is any different than what the conversation we have when we have Reality Roundup. You guys are talking like you're at a dinner party and you saw two people argue. The way I look at it is like this, and again, I just want the American people to understand what's really going on here. If you had a medical condition, you went to see a doctor, and then they always say get a second opinion, and then these two doctors started going at each other, you're like, man, something's really wrong with my stomach. But Brandon's insulting you on Twitter, and Dr. Lindsay says something back to Brandon, and everybody's like, oh, that was a good one. And you would say, oh, that was a good one, Brandon. Meanwhile, you're getting sicker and sicker. Yep. Nothing has happened. All we are doing is watching people argue. And again, Tori, I'm not done. This is our fault because we don't like Republicans or Democrats that are in the middle. We say they're too centrist. We like the guy that says they're going to lock people up and throw this person away, and he's crazy and he's stupid. And you guys, everybody likes the theater, but the thing is, when you have WWF wrestlers trying to get things done in Congress, nothing gets done. I don't like the theater, Al. I don't. I think Americans do. I think Americans do. I don't like the theater. Politics is always about, in some ways, theater. And in some ways, I think when you cross the line, you have to challenge and stand up and say, I'm not going to take this.
But, Tori, for you to say that she is third in line to the presidency, don't you think that she has to have more temperament than to walk out of a meeting?
Not from the actual president,
But this isn't one of our morning meetings when we're talking about what we're going to talk about on the show. We're talking about Syria. We're talking about human rights and that sort of thing. You can't walk out on
Syria and abandon our allies. That is Mr.
We never talk about that.
Remember who called the meeting, right? So even whether he feels like he was right or wrong about that, a lot of people bipartisan disagree with what happened over in Syria. Yeah. But he called the meeting to hear out the concerns. So that was already a step in the right direction, correct?
Right.
To try to hear it out. So the fact that it went this way is the worst case scenario.
I agree. I just think tempers need to be controlled.